Let me tell y'all why y'all need to go to therapy instead of always resorting to venting to people. So when you vent to people, right, you got to keep in mind, and I'm referring to people that you have relationships with. When you vent to them, sometimes, most of the time, their subconscious mind is taking what you're saying and applying it to your relationship. So what that would look like is later on, they might bring that stuff back up, or even in the midst of the conversation, they may say, oh, start comparing and contrasting, or they may get upset. Like, let's say you venting about another person that they're jealous about or they don't care for, then they can't really hear you. They can't really give you advice. They can't really understand or comprehend what you're saying, because all they thinking about is that other person you talking about, or the favoritism you show, or why you so interested, things like that. Or you can be venting to them, and like I said, they're gonna make it about them. So they'll start listening and thinking like, well, you do that with me, or well, you da 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 da. Or sometimes people have their own issues with you, and so while they're listening to you speak, they will bring up something that's triggering out of that conversation, and they just can't even hear what you're saying. So sometimes it's not even necessary to vent to people. Like, or you're venting to someone and they taking that stuff and weaponizing it later. Like, literally will be listening to what you complained about. And I'm not saying weaponizing in a way like to literally hurt you, but like what they'll do, like say you talking to somebody, friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, they will literally listen to what you're complaining about, and then they'll meet all those expectations. Now you may be complaining about somebody else or something else in your life, but they'll meet all those expectations just to win you over. Just to win you over. Almost like the rule from back in the day, well, people probably still do it, where they'll bet on the girl, like, okay, I'm gonna get her or whatever. And you just kind of go to somebody else, what she like, what she into, and then you pretend that you're into it, and then that's how you get the person. So people tend to do the same thing, but just in a different format. They listen to you vent, oh, my husband's not doing this, my other friend ain't do this, my mama ain't do this person ain't do that, I ain't got this. And they will literally keep showing up for you, showing up for you, showing up for you, until they get you where they need you to be, and then it all backfires. So be careful with venting to people. Get on your knees and pray, or go to therapy. I know at the time when you choosing to vent to somebody, it seems like that's the best thing to do. It feel like this is your friend, this is your mom, whoever it is, and you trust them. But I'm telling y'all, I am telling you, when we all got stuff going on, sometimes they cannot hear you the way that you think they do. Or they might be listening. Like, have you ever vented to somebody about someone or something, and then later on they'll turn around and do that same thing to you? Right? That's my point right there. So you can't always vent to people because they're not listening the way that you think they are. Like people are listening in that moment because it's not about them. So they'll sit right there and talk about whatever you talking about, gossip about the person, be on your side. But then later on, the same scenario, just with them, they don't understand 2 words of what you're saying. They got all these justifications and things like that. So join me in moving forward, not venting to people. Like I said, pray or get you some therapy. Now, if it's like little small talk, okay, cool. But outside of that, your business needs to stay your business, because that is how we end up attacked anyway, from sharing too much with people. Like, I just really had a wake-up call this past week, realizing that with some of my friends or just people I'm acquainted with, I have shared too much. You share too much to where even down to you can tell a person like, yeah, I got this attitude problem, and I'm working on it, da da da. And they'll turn around later when y'all fussing and be like, you even admitted that you have an attitude problem. Yeah, cut it. Nah. See, keep that stuff to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And them dark days, you feel like you don't have nobody, Honestly, I'd rather vent to a stranger. I lie to you not, before I vent to people that I'm close to. It done came back up too many times. Or, you know, the heartbreak after I feel like, dang, I just told you what so-and-so did and you just sat here and did the same thing. Yeah, nah.